Hello, everyone. This is Everyday Life with Joy. I'm thinking maybe I should change it back to Everyday Life with Jay, but you know, please don't mind the background. I am trying to sell a picture. Um, I'm a, I guess you could say, Renaissance woman. you know, I um, I have my small business. It's what I'm going to say to everyone is Joy Carla Body Bar. And before I go into anything, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Um, Joy Color Body Bar is my baby. No, it's not big. I would love for more people to order from me. I have good products. And then also on the side, I do sell like clothes, pictures, beautiful like art, pictures, like art decor, that type stuff. Um, and I just overall, boss lady when I can be. um, and also I work, and I am a mom. I have a son, he's grown, and I am a grandmother. So I just want to say that. And today, what I'm going to be talking about is various things. First, I was talking to a good friend of mine, my buddy back from where I'm from. Her twins are graduating. So her daughter is visiting different colleges. Okay, so I wanted to talk about like the HBCU type colleges. I believe that's what she was saying, and we were speaking on like one of the HBCU colleges down here is A&T. Um, and I just was telling her about, and not that I'm bashing any state. I'm just saying the different cultures. Um, and we got to be real here. I'm being a realist. I know um, the blacks down here may be a little different from the blacks back where we're from, and I just kind of want to, and also the Caucasians. Just it's a different. She's going to be coming to a different scenery. So I was trying to tell her that. Um, but it's good that she wants to venture out. Instead of being in that location, want to go to different locations. But I think for all parents, you need to, take a trip to the state wherever your child, whatever college your child want to go to. If that college, which you know what I'm talking about. If that college is in that particular state, I think it's important to go visit to see, to check, scope out the location. Make sure it's not any crime. I know my son's girlfriend, my granddaughter's mom, she mentioned, both of them were mentioned that A&T can be a little rowdy. Okay. And I'm like, wow, so it could be a little rowdy. So you want to be careful. Um, you have Howard University in the Washington, D.C. area. You have Townsend in the Maryland area. You have FAMU in Florida. You got, I think it's Clark University in Atlanta, Georgia. So you have different HBCUs in different locations. So just do your homework, parents, when your kids are going to college. Just do your homework and visit those locations. I know it costs money. That's the only thing. I know when my son was playing football, we went to different locations, and then he said he wanted to start working on cars, and I found a college where here at that time, and he went to college for that. So just want to speak on that part. So parents, do your homework when it comes to these colleges in these different states. Make sure you go visit and make sure that it's going to be a location where your son and daughter will be okay. And remember, they're going to be meeting people from different areas. Okay. All right. And so also I want to speak on, I am part of the Generation X crew. I was born in the 70s. The only thing is, I was born towards the end of the 70s. Okay, so I always, and it's not only me, other people that's born in the same year as me, we always find ourselves either too young to hang with the crew, the early Gen X crew, or too old to hang with the millennials and on further down. Okay, so I'm always like in the middle. Like my parents, it's five of us, was actually technically six, but with my mom and dad, it's five of us. And so my older three sisters, are born in the 60s. I'm born in the 70s, and my baby sister is born in the 80s. So my mom have children in different times. So my baby sister's not a Gen X with me. Okay, she's, I guess, considered what they call the millennials. But I'm a Gen X. I just so happen to be a Gen X with my elder sisters, my older sisters. Okay, which is crazy because they, I don't want to put them out there with the age gap, but it's most definitely an age gap. Okay, so one of my sisters, she called me. One of my older sisters, she called me. And we were talking and everything. Once in a while we all call each other to check up on each other. And because the reason I'm talking about this, because if you are a Gen X born in the 70s, okay, towards the end, shout out, holla at your girl. Because I want to see where, if I'm the only one. So one of my oldest sisters, not my oldest, but she's next to the oldest. She's talking. She said, I just ordered the Boston baked beans. Y'all remember those nasty? I said to her, I used to think those candies were nasty. And so she says to me, she was like, oh, no, yeah, that was, y'all didn't have that around. So I said, yes, we did. She said, y'all had the Jolly Rancher sticks? I was like, we had all that. We had now laters. It's really now and later, but we say now later. Y'all know what I'm talking about, annihilators. We had annihilators. We had the Jolly Rancher sticks, not the regular Jolly Rancher candy. Excuse me, Jolly Rancher sticks. We had the lemon heads, the cherry heads. She called the cherry head something else. We had the Chico stick. We had now for a second we lived in Florida, and so they used to they weren't the corner stores. They was the old lady store. You go to the store, the penny stores, and you put the ice. She would make juice and freeze it. Kool-Aid and freeze it, and you go there on a hot day and you get it and you push it up, you flip it over. Oh, miss those days. So I was saying to my sister, I was like, sis, I'm born in the 70s. She was like, yeah, but towards the end, and I'm like, we had those things similar to what y'all had. They started dwindling down when they started having their kids, like in the late 80s, 90s. That's when it started dwindling down. But I remember all that, the music from the Shaka Khan music, the Isley Brothers, I remember all of that, the cartoons. I'm about to get on the cartoons. G.I. Joe, He-Man, we had Mr. Rogers, we had the Richard Pryor show, Pryor's Place. It was sort of like a ghetto Sesame Street. Sesame Street. Let me see. We had Gems and Holograms, and this is probably for the girlies. We had Gem and the Holograms. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. We had a lot of stuff too, and so I'm just kind of like, because like sometimes when I'm listening to certain songs, I'm like, oh, I remember that. You don't know that, but I'm like, huh? Where y'all been? What? Y'all think I was born with y'all kids? So. That's really, really funny, because it's like, where do we fit in at? Because we're called Miss and Aunties and Ma'ams from the ones in their 20s, even now 30s, early 30s for me, And it's like, I don't want to tell my age, but, my son is in his 20s, but I can have an older child older than my son. Let's just say that. But it's just still like, where do I fit in? Like, where, some people say, well, it depends on, like, I could talk to men. I have men in different age brackets that try to talk to me. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I never had a man did I have a man in his 20s? He was in his late 20s that tried to talk to me. I was shocked. But for the most part, like the mid 20s, and but the ones like in their 30s, what's up? They be trying to holler. But for the most part, it's like, I do get men in their 50s. Of course you get older men, But then I look at it, it's like I graduated with some people that's probably like 50 right now. 50, 51, They were like probably in 12th when I was in 9th. And so I'm just kind of like, where, if you're born, I don't want to say too much, if you're born in the late 70s, just do your calculations. Where do we fit in at? can anybody tell me where do we fit in at? I'm considered a Gen X. So like I was telling my mom, I said maybe my sisters should have been more of the baby boomers, and she said no, I'm part of the baby boomer. I said well maybe you should have been with dad like the silent generation because my father was with the silent generation. All these little generation names is crazy. My dad would have been 83 years old, y'all. So he was with the silent generation. My mom, I think, had just missed it. So she's part of the baby boomer crew. But my oldest sister, she had just missed the baby boomer crew by 1 year. And I always keep putting her with the baby boomers. But she's part of the Gen X. And I'm like, how is that? Like they should have been, when you like about 60, pushing 60 and things like that, you should be with the, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Because, if you're born up in the 70s, ain't nothing like us, man. We cool. We born in the 80s. We made the 80s pop. So, but yeah, I just need to know, like, where do people say, well, it just depend on, I guess how you roll, how you act, things like that or whatever. I'm like, okay, but I just never know, like who to talk to and who to hang with and who would, take to me. And so, yeah, you gotta say something in the comments. Don't be shy, because I'm just trying to figure out, like, excuse me, I'm sorry, I had a Pepsi. I shouldn't have had a Pepsi, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, where do I, where do I fall into? What group I fall in. Because really, I can relate to, I'm just cool like that. I can relate to any, only thing is, excuse me, the ones in their 20s, some music, they probably lose me, but my son, like, used to listen to XXXTentacion and something like that before he passed away. I used to be in the car bopping with my son. You hear me? I was bopping to that boy music. Okay, so some music I'd be like, okay, that's what's up. I could bop to it. Like, if you're going to a wedding or an event and they play the music, yeah, you could bop with it, So the good thing is when I had my son, I was pretty young. I was young with him. So I grew with him. Okay. But I don't know where we would fall, what group would we fall in? Just, I need somebody to tell me, like, put in the comments, like, because I was asking one of my friends, she was like, well, like, her husband is probably like 51, 52. So he always called her, like, say she act like an old woman, but I don't know. I really want to get a perspective from everybody else. Like, what group do you feel like you are in? Or the ones in your late 60s that's a Gen X, in early 70s. Do you all take to us that's born in the late 70s? You get what I'm saying? Do you all take to us, or do y'all feel like we young bucks, huck bucks, whatever the case may be? And the ones that's the millennials, what do you all feel about us who's born in the late 70s? Like, would you hang with us? Or now I have a couple of buddies that's born like 80, 81, 82, that, wouldn't mind hanging with me. But for the most part, it's like, I kind of stick with the crew that's in their 70s for some reason. I don't know if my brain just thinks, I don't know, But anyways, you all holler at me. Let me know. And please follow Joy Carla Body Bar on Instagram, okay? I'm going to tag, not tag, but I'm going to put my following, I can't talk today. Wow, I'm tired. I'm going to put my Instagram information in the comment section. Please follow. Remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, okay? Remember, I love you all, but God loves you more. Remember to put God first in everything you do, and have a beautiful day, okay? Good night.